everybody, and welcome to another episode of DC on TV, where we look at every episode in the Arrowverse this week and let you know if it was good or bad. I'm your host, Justin.
I'm Pablo.
And, this week was a shorter week. We only had The Flash, Legends, and Arrows. No Supergirl. Do you kind of wonder why that is? Like, why they all just don't take a week off together?
Do you want to say that better?
Do you ever wonder, why don't they all take a week off, all four shows? Or, do you think that they're like, oh, we can skip one here and kind of thing?
I think it's something like that, scheduling, just so that nothing goes off the air completely,
There's always at least one superhero show or two or three
which
or whatever.
I don't really like, just because it throws in filler episodes, which are somewhat fine, but it feels like the season drag on at points.
Especially since next week is the sing-along episode, the singing one, the musical episode.
Exactly.
It's kind of weird that Supergirl is off this week.
So now, not only that, but they're going to take time apart from Supergirl and Flash when we're getting close to the end of the season.
I actually don't mind it. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, yeah, filler episodes can be good. It just seems that they're dragging, is my point.
I get you. But since there was no Supergirl this week, we opened up with The Flash. Pablo, what happened? Give us a quick recap of what happened on Flash this week.
So on Flash, Barry tries to get into the Speed Force to try to get Wally out, and that was pretty much the whole episode, basically. What'd you think of a pretty centric on just Barry? Nothing really about the city or anything else.
Yeah, it was mostly about Barry. He had to deal with, it was more like a thing on dealing with loss.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all about the Speed Force teaching him that, just because people die from you and leave you, you can't just go back in time and fix everything. Exactly. So some things are kind of meant to happen for a reason. Kind of the whole thing, I think, leading up with Iris.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought I enjoyed it for the most part, to be honest.
Okay.
What about you?
I had some negatives about it, mainly Iris. It seems every week she's flipping and flopping between.
She is.
Oh, I'm
Worst
fine with
girlfriend
me.
ever.
I'm fine with me dying.
Yeah.
No, you got to do something to prevent this.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's pretty much, all right, I'm doing something to prevent it, and then you get mad at me for doing it. It's just like, stick with something, And then, but what did you think of that?
I agree. I don't like that. Honestly, I had kind of a problem with the fact that it's like, oh, you only married me because of I'm going to die, or you think that's going to stop or change it. And it's like, to me, honestly, it's like, he does love you. There's not like they were just best friends or brothers and sisters still. And then he just out of nowhere asked for them to marry her because that would change it. They're dating. I mean, sure, they're moving a little bit fast, but it's not like he doesn't love her or have the initiative to marry her. That was the one thing that kind of bugged me a bit about that. The other thing that bugged me was Jesse leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, why bring her back if she's going to leave again, right?
Yeah, I mean, I had problems with her thinking that she could outwit or outbeat Savitar.
Mm-hmm.
It just, she's been doing this far less than Barry, so...
Yeah, she's between Wally and Barry, right?
Yeah, so it just seems like we need someone to find a weakness in Savitar, so they thought, let's just have Jesse do it, which to me...
Barry and Wally are in the Speed Force.
Yeah, to me, it didn't really make much sense, especially her acting, as, I guess, going solo, There are reasons why the whole team wants you to stay behind, and it just seems that she didn't care or didn't want to listen to their reasons.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I would have rather have it so, if it's Savitar against Jesse, I was like, there's no way she's going to get, her ass kicked. So I would have rather had it like a team-up, because we only had, one or two team-ups between the three of them, right?
Yeah, even,
barely
if
Grodd,
that.
they barely did anything together against Grodd. It was more the guy from the other Earth, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a team up. Maybe they catch him, and that's kind of maybe that's also a teachable moment that, kind of like Oliver, we'll get to Arrow, but kind of like Oliver, who's these guys help me. These guys make my job easier, and maybe we could have had a growth from that. I mean, I don't think Barry's really I can do this by my own.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't gotten much Cisco and Caitlin helping him like we did in the first season.
Okay. That is true. And that's one thing I was going to say that I kind of don't like as well. It seems like every episode he's getting a speech. He had a speech this season saying pretty much you got to keep moving forward and you got to be you.
Yeah.
But it's just you know what? At this point, I'm tired of it because it seems like every other episode he's getting a speech.
Other than that, though, I think it was just a pretty good episode. I mean, I wouldn't rank it as one of the best, but I enjoyed it. What about you?
Same thing. Even with me saying all the bad things about it. It wasn't the worst episode. It's somewhere in the middle for me. Decent episode.
Yeah. I agree.
So that pretty much wraps up Flash, and then we move on to the second show of Tuesday nights, which is Legends of Tomorrow. Justin, why don't you tell us a little bit about this episode?
So Legends this week, we had a lot going on. Rip and Sarah are kind of having little budding issues because she's still acting like the leader of the group since he's been gone. And then Captain Steel, he's having problems, meeting his old dad, or his old grandfather, and asking him to be a better grandfather or be a father to his dad. There was that going on with Vixen, and then Stein and Mick weren't really in doing much, but just distractions. We did get to see Dr. Stein sing though. Overall, it was just it was a fun episode. Like I said, I always have fun with these episodes. Legend. So one of the problems I had with this week's episode was the fact that we've had this Vixen Steel love story, and Vixen can't fall in love with Steel because she's from the past, and so in doing so would change her whole trajectory off. But then when he's trying to change the trajectory off of his grandfather, so that he can have a better life, Vixen's like no. So I don't get why he's telling her you can't do it, but I'm gonna do it, and then she's telling him no. If you're not gonna do any time you know what I mean? Kind of like basically saying what's a good time aberration and what's not.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to get at, mostly. Kind of hard to explain, time travel and everything.
Yeah.
But I like the whole thing of Rip and Sarah. Rip's kind of having trouble getting back into the groove of things.
Okay.
But it looks like Sarah's not like, I'm the captain now, you're not, you were gone, blah, blah, blah. He's more like you were the captain, I need to get back in my groove thing. That's just my 2 cents on it. What do you think about it, Pablo?
Honestly, I like this episode a lot better than the past few episodes. I've really had problems with Legends this season. I thought it really went lower in quality.
And that's where we differ.
That is where we differ, because a lot of people are saying that this season is actually a lot better.
I love it.
However, it's not really hitting the right strides for me, but this episode definitely was a step in the right direction.
Why do you hate fun?
I don't hate fun. But seeing this episode really go back to some better writing, to me at least, and it just really wrapped up nicely. I agree with what you said about how there's no real, you can set your time aberration, but we can't do it this way. And it makes sense to us.
Yeah.
And they keep flip-flopping week to week, and that's what I don't like. I also don't like how we're not really seeing variety in teams. It's the same teams week after week after week.
As far as who's teaming up together, like when they do like mini breakup. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. We've seen a lot of Captain Steel and Adam.
We have not seen any difference, which I thought was one of the main points of the show. Like, we're going to see different team ups from different people and see how they interact, but it's been the same people this whole season.
Yeah, I liked it when we saw Mick and Adam team up together. They were like, the varying differences. One's super mean, super grumpy guy, and he's super happy, super joyful.
Exactly.
But yeah, we've seen too much Vixen, Steel, and Adam.
Exactly.
They're the worst parts of the show to me, honestly.
That's just the whole thing. Maybe if you made it feel a little bit fresh, I get that you're trying to stick to a story.
Yeah.
And my theory is that Adam is going to be the one that impregnates Vixen.
Why do you say that?
That's just my theory.
She's supposed to get pregnant or something?
Well, she has a kid, and then that kid gets adopted. They went over this last episode.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
But I mean, that's just my theory. They're building up this whole love story thing, and I think it turns out that they actually have a kid together. That's my theory on it. But I mean, if I'm correct, I've already found out way before halfway into the season. Yeah. So that's why maybe I'm bored with it.
That's what you're saying.
I agree with what you said about the captain's situation. How you got to give time for Rip to come up back and, regain some confidence. And I'm really excited to see what stories they follow going forward with that.
Yeah. All right, and that was what we have to say about Legends. Arrow usually rounds out our week. Tell us what happened on Arrow this week, Pablo.
So on Arrow this week, we left off with D.A. Chase capturing the Oliver's reporter chick.
Yeah.
Susan Williams.
His side piece.
Susan Williams. And it turns out that Oliver goes on the offensive now. Well, I wouldn't really say offensive. He goes confronting Chase every chance he gets, saying, I'm not going to let you get away with this. And then it just turns out we have more Felicity stuff with her hacker group.
And Helix?
I believe
they're in the comics, right?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure that's a reference.
So there was that, and it was just how the team has to deal with the kidnapping of Susan Williams and knowing that it is now D.A. Chase.
Yeah.
Throwing it to Justin, what are some things that you liked about this episode?
Things I liked. I liked Team Oliver working together. Canary, I'm starting to like her. She's kind of in the background a lot. That's the one thing I'm surprised about that they introduced. They went full in on her, and then now she's kind of just there, like with like his bodyguard, and she just kind of has her little one-liners here and there. I like Curtis's balls. I didn't like all the sexual innuendos that came up with last week. I'm sorry, but those balls are pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, right?
Yeah, you're right. They are extremely helpful. A little slow to me.
Yeah,
this episode, but I mean, I think that was part of the episode.
My thing though is that it always felt out of place for me that Curtis was there. You know, I always said it like Curtis should be on the computers with Felicity, blah blah blah. But now that he's kind of like he told Wild Dog, like I'm gonna show my strengths.
He's a on-field
Tech
guy,
which is not a bad thing to have.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I really liked the stuff with the twist at the end. But what about you, Pablo? What'd you think? What are some goods?
Some good things I liked. The fighting between, I believe it was the second fight. It wasn't the first confrontation. It was
When he takes the mask off.
Yes,
That was cool.
that just the fighting has been a step up from last season.
This fighting this season has been really
everything.
Really good.
Yeah, it feels like, again, it's probably beating a dead horse, but it's going back to the roots, which is what we've wanted all along
From season 1 and 2. Yeah.
Going on to some negatives, the whole Felicity thing, her whole story about morals and things, if she's as good as she says she is and this group needs her, it shouldn't be what can this group do for you, right? It should be
Helping that group.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
I feel like, I don't know, they're trying to introduce a storyline that I'm not really on board for.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I like the whole thing because it kind of plays back into the whole thing with Ragman, where she caused that city to blow up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she's dealing with the morals of that, and then she's kind of going all in on, like, is she even doing anything that's really moral? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like that kind of aspect of it. I mean, it's just whatever to me. It's interesting to see what she's going to do. I'm kind of curious, like, what is she going to do, though? I don't hate it. You seem to...
Yeah, you don't hate it yet.
I don't hate it yet, yeah. If it becomes a full Helix Felicity episode, then I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to start getting out on it. But yeah, as far as dislikes for me, I really don't like how DA Chase is, like, clearly the villain now.
Over the top, right? It's just a complete turn from being, oh, maybe this guy's a potential suspect, to, how did no one hear that? Is anyone around us?
How did no one hear that his, like, dialect and the way he speaks now was very villainy in Captain Coldy? Is he taking the Captain Cold book of how to talk? How to stretch his sentences out and pronounce them strangely. Like, he talks like that now. But he's a cool villain. I'm liking him as the villain.
Yeah, good
He's pulling off.
grounded villain. It's not too out there.
Yeah, I saw a thing that was saying, is D.A. Chase the best villain we've had on Arrow since Slade Wilson?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I had no idea who it was going to be up until the reveal last week.
Yeah, I did not see that. I was going with the Tommy stuff because we still don't know who Vigilante is.
I don't think we'll ever find out.
You don't think so?
I don't think they even know in the comics. But I might be wrong on that.
I'm going to bring up my weekly negative. Where the hell is Thea this episode?
I mean, I'm telling you, I have no problem with her being gone just because she's useless to the team. She doesn't want to dress up as a hero.
That's why I'm saying, why isn't she a part of the team? We need Speedy on this team.
We don't need another person being useless, which is one of my dislikes on this episode. The team was pretty much useless.
I have a question. What happened to that bow and arrow chick that joined in the beginning of the season? Where's she at?
Where has she been at, right?
Because didn't she join Prometheus?
Yes, or she was siding with Prometheus.
It would be cool if it was her and Prometheus against the other group. I mean, that'd be cool if it was like a team on team. Her, Prometheus, and then Talia. I'm really curious on Talia. What about you?
I'm excited to see where they go. That was one of my likes. Just you can't really trust an Al Ghul, can you?
No.
You never really know what side they're going to go on. But just that, I've also liked the dynamic between the Green Arrow and the Commissioner. I don't know if he's a commissioner.
Police chief captain.
The chief captain. I really like that dynamic.
I wish he was more Gordon-y. I feel like we've lost a lot with Lance not being the Gordon of the show since he's kind of on Team Arrow now. It'd be cool to have him be the Gordon of the show. But he seems he's too headstrong. But yeah.
I like the seeds they're planting there. Potentially future seasons, we might see a more friendly relationship.
Arrow this season has definitely made me a lot of times been like, oh man, I really want to see next week's episode. I think that's the only show in this Arrowverse seasons or this year of the Arrowverse where I'm like, oh man, I gotta make sure I watch Arrow next week. Like, it's had these little teasers that makes me want to come back for more.
Exactly, and that's what it should be after you watch every episode. It should be like, man, I can't wait until next week. Which it hasn't been.
There's stingers at the end, yeah.
It hasn't been this way all throughout the season.
Particularly
for every show.
With Flash. Flash has not been very good at it. Arrow has been killing it. Legends has been.
But I guess that's the conversation about fillers. If we had less fillers, would it be more exciting? But
I think the thing with Legends is it's more like Al Capone this week. Like, it's kind of cool seeing the historical figures for me, at least. That's what makes me be like, oh man, I want to see how they do that. I want to see the Lucas stuff like that. But that has been this week in the Arrowverse. If I had to ask you, Pablo, how would you rank them this week?
I would have to go with Legends, Flash, Arrow.
I would say it's a tie for first for Flash and Arrow. It's hard for me to pick. I like them both really a lot, and so then I would go third Legends. But I still enjoyed it. It was a good week, I think.
Yeah, one of the better weeks. It wasn't.
We've definitely had worse weeks than this.
We've had worse and we've had better, but this was a nice somewhere in the middle.
And that's been DC on TV this week. Let us know what you thought of this week in the Arrowverse. Did you like Legends more than Arrow and Flash? Did you like Flash better? Or did you think they were both pretty terrible against Legends? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe. You'll get more episodes like this. We're also trying to make new content.
Also, to keep up with that new content, and to check out other reviews after every show, follow us on Instagram at Screenophiles.
Yeah, watch us. Follow us on Instagram, Screenophiles. Every night that there's an episode of Arrowverse, we will have a post following it sometime thereafter. I would like to say that we're on time a lot, but we are not, and I will not lie to you folks.
We will try to get it up by the end of the West Coast time.
This is true. And don't forget to check out first-time viewings.
Don't plug that.
Why not?
You don't need to plug. That's only for school.
First-time viewings, where someone over here that I know gives you his first-time viewing opinion of different movies. How's that going for you, Pablo?
1 subscriber and growing.
I like it. And next week, Flash, Supergirl crossover, sing-along.
I don't really think
musical.
we needed that. But
you watch DC on TV next week when this will also be a musical.
God, no.
Oh, it's going to happen.
All right. You want to close it off?
Over my dead body, it will happen.
I'm missing Wild Dog in action. He hasn't done anything.
He's hanging out with Lancelot.
Which is fine. I like that.
I said Lancelot, and it should be Detective Lance.
Here's the thing.
And I know it.